Alrighty. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you, in my opinion, what I think are the 3 best stocks for generating an options income. And this is suitable for you if you're just starting out, right? You're a beginner or you haven't traded, for more than a year, right? So if you're trading for less than a year, then these 3 stocks you can certainly use as well to trade options on. All right, so let's dive right in, starting with the first one. So the first one, the ticker symbol is XSP. Now, XSP is not a stock per se, but rather it's a cash settled index options, right? So what is the XSP? So the XSP is basically the mini SPX cash settled index options. So I'm pretty sure you've heard of the SPX. So if you haven't traded SPX before, maybe because it's too big, then you can trade the XSP because the notional size is much smaller, right? It's 1/10 the size of SPX and has the same notional size as SPY, which is the index ETF, right? The S&P 500 index ETF. So if you have been trading the SPY, then you can certainly trade the XSP as well. And the difference is that the XSP is actually cash settled, right? So there's no assignment of shares. So I'll go deeper into this. So why is this a good underlying to trade options for beginners? Well, first of all, it has decently good liquidity and relatively tight bid and ask spread. So this is one of the conditions that we want to look into before trading any underlying, right? Be it a stocks or index ETF, or in this case, index options. So what we want to take a look at is the bid and ask spread. So as you can see down here, if you will take a look at roughly the at the money options, so you can see down here, these are the put options. So the spread is actually pretty tight, right? It is 13 cents. This is 13 cents down here. This one down here is also 13 cents. So they are all pretty much around 13 cents wide, which is pretty decent because this is a pretty high price underlying, right? It's $440. So for a $7.97 on the bid and $8.10, 13 cents is actually pretty acceptable, right? So this is something that you want to look into before you trade any underlying. Now, the next reason is that it's not as volatile as individual stocks. So as you can see down here in this chart down here, this graph, I've actually shared this graph quite a number of times in my other videos. But basically, as you can see down here, the ETFs, the movements are much more controlled and much more smaller. It stays in a narrower range compared to individual stocks, right? So for the XSP, we can classify this under the ETFs, right, for this graph, mainly because the XSP is the S&P 500, right? It has 500 stocks rather than just one individual stock. So as you know, if you have a basket of stocks, the movements are going to be much more muted compared to individual stocks, right? Because you have certain stocks that may go up, certain stocks go down, and they're going to negate the movements for each other. So that is why you can see down here, the study has shown by Tasty Trade that the ETFs, or rather, underlyings where there is a basket of stocks compared to just individual stocks, they're going to stay in a narrower range compared to individual stocks, which is exactly what we want when we're trading income strategies, right? Income strategies like the Iron Condor, the Strangle, Jade Lizard, credit spread, so on and so forth. So these are strategies where we want the underlying to pretty much stay within the expected move. So that is why this is a pretty good underlying for us to trade compared to, volatile individual stocks. Also, the XSP is a European style options, which means to say there is no early assignment risk. So you can hold to expiration if you want to, even if your options are in the money, right? So one of the biggest thing that, many beginners fear when they come into trading options is getting assigned, right? They're afraid of getting the options in the money because if they get assigned, on the put side, you're going to be long 100 shares. If you're going to be assigned on your call option, then you're going to be short 100 shares. And if you don't have the necessary funds, you're going to get margin call. So it's going to be very, messy, especially if you want to unwind them. So a lot of people kind of get scared, right? They always, will reach out to me and ask me, oh, my options are in the money. What do I do? Should I just, close them out? Should I do this or that? So the alternative is actually just to trade XSP, right? Because even though if your strikes are in the money, well, guess what? There is not going to be any assignment because for European style options, you can only get assigned at expirations. So even though if your options are in the money, there's no need to worry. You can actually hold the spread all the way to expiration. And that's what quite a lot of people want, right? A lot of people want to achieve the maximum profit of any spread they're trading, right? So for example, when they want to trade the Iron Condor, right, a lot of people will be, wanting to capture this maximum profit down here, this maximum profit zone. And the only way you can do this is if you hold it to expiration. Now, if you were to do it on like SPDR's SPY, which is the index ETF, if the market, right, goes beyond this short strike down here on the put side, or goes beyond the call strike down here, then there is a chance for early assignment. Then you're going to get assigned shares, and that's going to pretty much mess up your trade. All right, so with XSP, there's no such thing as early assignment. Now, it's also cash settled, which means to say you're not going to get shares, right? So there is assignment, but the assignment is only upon expiration. And upon expiration, what's going to happen is that it's just going to tabulate, your P&L. If it's going to be in a profit, then what it's going to do, it's going to credit your account. If it's going to be in a loss, then it's going to debit into your trading account. So there's no assignment of shares, so you don't have to be worried about any sort of margin call due to being assigned shares, right? So if you're just starting out, XSP could actually be a very good vehicle for you to just get started and not worry about assignment. So what strategies can you trade with the XSP, right? So there are a number of strategies that you can trade. Well, the first one, you can trade the bull put spread. So this is a bullish strategy. Again, I have quite a number of videos on this on my channel. You just go ahead to my channel and search for bull put spread. Then next you have the bear call spread, which is just the call side, right? It's a counterpart of the bull put spread and is a neutral to bearish strategy where you want the market to go down. Again, if the market, let's say, goes all the way up, and then there's still maybe 10 days left to expiration. Well, at this point, you can actually just choose to hold on to the spread, right? Because there's no early assignment. You don't have to be afraid that this short call down here is going to translate to 100 shares and get assigned, right? Because that's not going to happen with XSP. So you can actually hold it, and who knows, maybe during the last 10 days of this options live, the market could actually come back down and you could be in a profit for this trade. And finally, you can trade the Iron Condor, right? So the Iron Condor, again, I have many videos on my channel. Just go ahead to my channel and search for Iron Condor. And the good thing about trading this on XSP is that, you can try to get the max profit by simply holding all the way to expiration, right? If the market stays somewhere within this zone, then guess what? You're going to get the max profit of this Iron Condor trade. So even though, let's say the market goes all the way down, and there's still like 20 days left to expiration, just hold on to it. And if the market does come back up again, then you are, possibly going to be able to hit the max profit of this Iron Condor. All right, so the second underlying to trade for options income would be the QQQ, or in short, the Qs, right? So what is the Qs? By the way, if you like this video so far, please subscribe and also click the thumbs up button. And also do get your free copy of the options income blueprint, where I share the top 3 option strategies that help you generate a consistent income each month, trading just 1 to 2 hours a day, right? So if you want to go ahead to get this copy, just head on over to optionswithdavis.com/blueprint. All right, back to the video. Right, the Qs is the technology sector index ETF. So again, this is not an individual stock, but rather it is a basket of stocks, right? More accurately, it is a basket of 100 stocks from the tech sector. So you have stocks like the Amazon, the Google, so on and so forth inside. So one of the reasons why I like the Qs is, well, one of them is because I did pretty well with them. And secondly is that it is also an index ETF, which I mentioned previously before, compared to individual stocks. It's slightly muted, but at the same time, it has pretty high volatility compared to its counterparts, like RWM and SPDRs, right? So let me get into the reasons why I think this is a good underlying to trade options for beginners. So the first reason is that it has very, very good liquidity and very tight bid-ask spread, right? So if you will take a look at the at-the-money put option down here, you can see that this is only 7 cents wide, right? And the underlying is about 300 plus, right? This is 7 cents wide down here. Down here is 5 cents wide. Down here is roughly 6 cents wide. So as you can see, they are all under 10 cents, which is pretty good, right? So this is considered very tight already and is considered very liquid. Now next, it's also not as volatile compared to its individual counterparts, as I mentioned with XSP, because again, these are all basket of stocks and not individual stocks. And it has higher volatility relative to its index ETFs peers, right? So if you were to talk about index ETFs, then QQQs will be one of the ones where it has higher volatility compared to its other, peers, right? Like the SPDRs, IWM, and the diamonds, right? So these are the big 4 index ETFs on the right-hand side down here. So as you can see for the QQQs, the IV, as you can see over here for this date, right, 20th October, 54 DTE left is 22.3%. right? The next in line will be IWM, 21.29. Spiders is much lesser, 17.19%, and diamonds is 15.13%. So if you're going to talk about, higher volatility to get more premium, then QQQ is, among one of the highest for the index ETF. So that is why it's actually pretty good for us to trade, options income strategies on, because we're going to get pretty decent premium as well. So what strategies can you trade on the QQQs? Well, similarly to the XSP, you can trade the bull put spread, you can trade the bear call spread, and you can trade the iron condor as well. Now, the only difference is that for the QQQs, I actually do not suggest that you hold all the way to expiration, because this is American style options, which means to say there is early assignment. So for example, if the market was to breach your short strike before expiration, let's say maybe there is 15 DTE left, right? Which means to say 15 days left to the expiration of the options, then there's always a chance that the buyer of your this short put option could actually just exercise it, and then you're going to be long 100 shares. And if you're going to long 100 shares at roughly $332, that's going to be $33,200 that you need in order to fund these shares, right? These 100 shares. So if you don't have that, then it's easily going to get you into a margin call. So that is why if you're going to trade the index ETFs, then you want to have an exit plan that is not where you hold all the way to expiration, especially if the market is in the money, right? Either side of your strikes before expiration. Okay, so again, I have a lot of videos on strategies on what you can do, so just go ahead and watch them. Now, last but not least, is an actual stock, and that is Google. So Google, or known as Alphabet Company, is actually a tech stock, right? So this is an individual stock, and I also like Google. Well, one of the reasons is also because, I did pretty well on Google as well. So why is this a good underlying to trade options for beginners? So the first reason is that Google has good liquidity and relatively tight bid and ask spread, right? Google is one of the heavily traded stocks, right? It has millions of shares traded every single day. And I did not put the bid and ask spread down here, but you can just go ahead to your platform. You can see that it's actually pretty tight, right? It's not as tight as the QQQs or maybe even the SPY, but it's decent enough, right? Decent enough for us to trade our strategies. It also has decently good volatility, right? So as you can see down here on the option chain, you can see this is the volatility. So it's not that absurdly high, but it's not that low as well. So it's decent enough for us to get some good premium when we're trading income strategies as well. Next, in my opinion, I think that Google is actually a fundamentally good stock. Now, I know that, the term fundamentally good stock can be pretty subjective, right? So this is where you want to do your due diligence, right? Just don't take it straight from me. Go ahead and do your own homework to find out whether it's fundamentally good for you. But if you were to go to Google Finance, you will see that the revenue is actually increasing year on year, and also the net income, which is the one in yellow, is also increasing as well. So generally, if a company is making money, right, increasing its cash flow, increasing its revenue and net income over time, then I would consider this, a pretty good stock to trade for the long term as well. So that is why most of the time I'm pretty bullish on the underlying, and generally, avoid going for any bearish strategies on such kind of fundamentally good stock, right? So this way, at least you have a margin of safety whereby, if it's a fundamentally good stock, even though if you get hit on your put options and you're long 100 shares, you don't really have to worry as much compared to, if you were holding stocks like AMC or GameStop, right? Because in the long term, if you believe in the company, you think that the fundamentals are good, then it should rise over time. Also, as of this recording, according to Simply Wall Street, right, which is just a website that, evaluates stocks. So according to Simply Wall Street, Google right now is undervalued, right? You can see that their current price as of this recording is about $130, and Simply Wall Street, give a fair value of around $181. So according to them, it is undervalued right now. But again, there are many different sites that will give you their valuations and whether they think the stock is undervalued. So this is where you want to do your due diligence. For me personally, I still think that Google is a little bit undervalued. So that is why, I only go for mostly bullish strategies as opposed to bearish strategies. So what strategies to trade on Google? So for Google, you can trade the bull put spread. So again, this is a bullish strategy. You can also trade the short put if you have more capital. So Google is about $130 right now. So it's not that expensive compared to, the index ETFs, which is much higher priced at around, $300 and $400, like the SPY and the QQQs. right? So for Google, if you have the funds, you can actually go for a short put. And also, you can trade the wheel strategy on Google, or better yet, the income grid wheel strategy. So if you're not familiar with what the income grid wheel strategy is, I actually have a series on this. You can go to my channel again, just go and search for income grid wheel strategy. There's a number of videos in my playlist where I talked about, how I actually enter into a trade and how I exit and what stocks I actually choose. So Google is one of those stocks that I choose for income grid wheel strategy. And I've been doing this for quite some time now. And that is why it's doing pretty good, right? Because in the long term, I believe that Google is going to go up. So as long as you put on any bullish strategy, and in this case, the income grid wheel strategy, well, as long as, if the market goes down, wait until you get a sign, you get 100 shares. If the market goes up, then you can start to sell covered call, or you could just choose to hold until the market goes further up before you sell the covered call again, right? So if you are interested in doing the wheel strategy, then you can consider Google if you do have the funds. All right, guys, so these are, in my opinion, the 3 best stocks for you to get started trading to generate an options income for yourself. And I personally trade this myself as well. So if you're just starting out, you can certainly consider trading the XSP, the QQQ, and Google. By the way, if you like this video, then you're absolutely going to love this next video which I have for you. So go ahead and watch that video right now. Also, if you haven't already gotten your free copy of the Options Income Blueprint, you can do so just by clicking this link down here on your screen, and you'll be able to get it for free. Alright, I will see you in the next video.